Good morning. Let's start the daily development. First topic is European carbon border. Okay. The European Union announced the gradual implementation of the Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism (CBAM) that is viewed as a resurgence of friction in an inherently unequal trading system. The CBAM or Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism is part of European Union's attempt to mitigate the effect of climate change that include an emission trading system used to price emissions or carbon emissions. European Union's Fit for 55 agenda, as the European Union ramp up its effort to withdraw free allowances in the system, there is a worry that business will relocate to adjudication with no such comparable regulations. That means the business or manufacturers who are manufacturing European Union may shift their manufacturing to other locations if they are not able to comply with the carbon border management. Carbon leakage has compelled the European Union to supplement its Fit for 55 agenda with a levy on import from countries that do not price carbon. So the country who will be exporting to European Union without following the carbon border management principle, so they have to pay an extra tax on the item that we imported to European Union in comparison or in proportion to the carbon emitted in the production process. The European Union is an important trading partner. Even though its regional trade is significant, the composition of trade in specific commodity and services is not EU dominated. For example, Turkey, Russia, South Korea, India, and China are the top five sources of steel imports to European Union. Similarly, Russia and Mozambique accounts for 50% of its alumina imports. And but these countries are not following the carbon border management principle. So the item imported from this country will be taxed more from the in the coming time. Both these products, along with the cement, fertilizer, electricity, and hydrogen, will be covered under the initial phase of the carbon border adjustment mechanism. The ORI in this will significantly impact trade with countries such as India that depend on the European Union for its export. 2.6% of India's export of product are potentially covered by the CBAM because India is not able to follow the European Union carbon border adjustment management system. Okay, or carbon emission standing to green steel. As for its annual report 22-23, the CBM will encourage the company to transition faster, and the experience will help with the transition in India. Tata Steel, which do trading in European Union, so has started implementing the carbon border adjustment mechanism because it knows that without this it will not be possible on its parts to go for exporting steel to European Union, and as it will comply the things for European Union, this will also improve the situation in India. Although with it, carbon related costs are to be borne by the society either through higher steel price or through public spending or subsidies. Fine. The possible outcome due to rise in taxes under the CBA, it is possible that European Union may end up losing an account of higher input cost as they may be passed on to consumers because the tax imposed on third products will be passed on to the consumer. Those items will be costlier and ultimately the price it will be paid by the consumer. Steel and alumina are crucial not just for its major exports such as the vehicle but also for green transition, especially alumina. The CBAM will apply to alumina even as the European Union lists it as a critical mineral and struggle to lift its production. It is hard to reconcile this with the application of a tariff for import export for region. The CBM is designed to keep countries such as China suppliers of minerals out of the European Union. A similar approach was adopted in the past to protect the smelters. So, where which are smelting the minerals ore to find the pure minerals to the smelters because maximum carbon is emitted in the smelting process. And in case proper carbon management policy is not being followed, so limitations taxation, more tax will be imposed on those products. How should India respond to this tax? There is the WTO to contest the major and discriminatory. However, the CPAM raises more serious concern on the structure of the manufacturing sector that will be dominated by companies and countries that are able to withstand the winds of change. The European Union and the such pricing mechanism can also work as a tool to negotiate equivalence with the CBAM as common but differentiated responsibility would mean that India can price carbon differently as per its level of development. Fine. So India may be affected to some extent by this provision because Indian companies are not properly following the standard fixed by the European Union in carbon emission. Fine. The CBM is significant intimate of the initiative of the European Union to check on carbon emission during the manufacturing, services and trade and commerce, which will help in countering climate change. However, there is need that India must respond with a policy that ensure pricing of carbon in line with its development priorities. Okay, the pricing should be in line with the developmental priorities because although it is right now being a great concern to reduce. Okay, so it is wiser on the part of India to shift to this carbon mechanism set of European Union. Okay, okay. Although it may take time and need cost, but it is a must. So in future, so this will be completely in tune with the requirement of ensuring okay standard a proper environmental standard which will definitely help in saving the environment, okay, and reduce the emission of carbon. Okay, the next topic is an electronic topic which is known as the okay internet from the sachet. Digital connectivity is a sine qua non for everything digital in today's world. India's digital connectivity landscape, the connectivity landscape has been transformed in the last 7 years in India due to multiple factors like the boom in mobile telephony, a billion plus mobile connections, 4G coverage, a significant reduction in tariff from 300 for GB to mere 7 per GB, increase so earlier. So yeah, that is around 300 rupees charge for 1 GB, but right now 1 GB cost 37 rupees. Increase smartphone penetration, enabling policy like net neutrality and the country's focus on building digital public infrastructure, so particularly digital ID and UPI, have further contributed to the increase in digital transaction across the domains. About the Digital India program, so Digital India program is a very proactive and people friendly techno savvy program of the government, so which was launched by the government, so as a last mile. Okay, so this is one of the that frontline program of the government to provide last mile digital connectivity to the villages, because as India lives in villages, government want to make its villages digitally savvy. Okay, The vision government launched the Digital India program with the vision of transforming the India into a digital empowered society and a knowledge-based economy by ensuring digital access, digital inclusion, digital empowerment, and bridging the digital divide. The program is concerned centered on three key vision areas: digital infrastructure as a core utility to every citizen, governance and service on demand, digital empowerment of citizens. Right. The goal, the overall goal is to ensure that digital technology improve the life of every citizen, expand India's digital economy, and create investment and employment opportunities, and create a digital technological capability in India. Outcomes of the program: Digital India has considerably reduced the distance between government and the citizens. It has also helped in the delivery of substantial services directly to the benefits in a transparent and corruption-free manner. In the process, India has emerged as one of the preeminent nations of the world to use technology to transform the lives of its citizens. Issue of data demand and gaps. This growth has been accompanied by a huge surge in data demand. Video is now the major data consuming medium. India's per capita data consumption is whooping 9.5 GB per month. The total data volume transported by mobile network of India is more than the mobile network of the United States and the China combined. See the Indians' craze for consuming data and using internet. This means that today even a child requires 5 to 6 gigabyte of data for online classes and other educational requirements. Thus, the gap between the demand and the affordable supply remains wide, especially for the poor households and the rural India. So, digital India will definitely fulfill this challenge in future. Possible way to bridge the data supply gap: the PM WANI program launch about Wi-Fi access network interface called WANI, Pradhan Mantri Wi-Fi Access Network Interface. The creation of the interoperable public Wi-Fi hotspots was one such idea proposed by the telecom regulators of India in 2017. Similar is in concept to the PCO of the past. It proposed to create million of interoperable Wi-Fi hotspots, public data offices for the last mile distribution of broadband to the common people in sachet size packet of 5 to 10. This system can provide community content without using the bandwidth. The idea was successfully piloted at the Wi-Fi Access Network Interface or WAN. So significance of PM1, Pradhan Mantri Wi-Fi Network Access. This framework offers a compelling business opportunity for aggregator as it allow unbundling of internet distribution at the last mile, eliminating the need for additional licensing fee. It provides a robust foundation for delivering affordable internet access to a significant portion of society. PM1E can also nurture the growth of local nano entrepreneurs without the country. Okay, these last mile providers can be found in small shop, local establishments, and even household. They establish the Wi-Fi hotspots and offer internet access to other users, enabling them to augment their monthly earning while promoting internet use through affordable sachet plans. The sachet internet in the last year alone, more than 1.5 lakh Wi-Fi hotspots have been installed by the PDOA. Okay, what is this PDOA? The last mile providers of the PDOs. Okay, and more than a million people are getting unlimited internet daily by paying just 5 to 10 rupees. Students are buying this sachet internet instead of a packet of cheap or a soft drink from their pocket money, for which they are able to use it for the day. Availability of the connectivity, one of the argument against PM money is the data is now so cheap and everyone has the 4G connectivity. There is no business case for the Wi-Fi hotspots. This, as we have seen, an oversimplification. Need of legal mandate except for Aadhaar promptly by litigation. None of the pre-existing platform like the Arabia Setu, CoWIN, or even the government e-market has a legal definition of their functions, roles, and responsibility from an act of parliament. Data collection and breach. One of the common aspect of all such platforms is them being data guzzlers, where personal information is gathered from Indians that goes beyond the technical requirements. This only results in multiple individual and social harm, including data breaches and information leaking. We had PM Money present a golden opportunity to accelerate high-speed, unlimited internet penetration, bridging the digital divide and empowering the communities. PM Money needs to be promoted by all stakeholders, government, civil society, and the startups. This digital public infrastructure is uniquely Indian in its approach to interoperability, openness, and scalability. It will hopefully accelerate like the UPI or other DPIs. Okay, International Day for the Conservation of the Mangrove Ecosystem 2023. The International Day for the Conservation of the Mangrove Ecosystem is celebrated every year on July 26th. 26th. About International Day for the Conservation of the Mangrove Ecosystem, it is celebrated every year on July 25th. So mangrove has a special vegetation and it has its own benefit because it absorbs 10%, 10 times more carbon than the normal vegetation, and this is housed to the mega diverse ecological diversity than the normal forest. So mangrove forests are unique on this count. Fine. Okay. What is madam? Okay. So, to raise awareness of the importance of mangrove ecosystem as a unique, special, and vulnerable ecosystem, and to promote solution for their sustainable management, conservation, and use. What are the mangroves? Mangroves are unique coastal ecosystem found in the tropical and subtropical regions around the world. They are characterized by dense, salt-tolerant tree and plant that thrive in the intertidal zones where land and sea meet. So they are in the intertidal zone, means the waterlogged intertidal zone. and saline water. So normally their specialty, because normally so tree cannot survive in waterlogged area, but this mangrove vegetation, they have the speciality. They are the plants and the trees in the intertidal zone within the waterlogged area. Okay, they are characterized by dense, salt-tolerant trees and plants that thrive in the intertidal zone at land and the sea meet. Okay, they are typically found in the sheltered coastal areas, estuaries, lagoons, and tidal flats, where they play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. Some common species of mangrove tree include the red mangrove, black mangrove, white mangrove, and the buttonwood. Okay, so features respiratory of the needles. They are specialized adaptation to cope with the high salt level in both the soil and the water, such as unique root system called the prop root or the nematophores that help with gas exchange in waterlogged soils. They project above the mud and have small openings through which air enters, passing through the soft spongy tissue to the root beneath the mud. They can survive extreme weather conditions and require low oxygen level to survive. They cannot survive freezing in freezing temperature, and thus are found mainly in the tropical and subtropical latitude, because this particular type of forest cannot cope with the freezing temperature. So tropical and subtropical regions are most suitable for the mangrove forest. And for your information, so the mangrove forests are on a decline around the world and also in India, but Odisha is the state where the last forest survey reports say that mangrove forest is increasing, and that's credit go to the efforts of the government in expanding the mangrove forest in the state. Fine, and the Mishti program has been launched by the government of India in this year's budget to propagate and promote and protect the mangrove vegetation in the country. MISTI program, like the mangrove initiative. Mangrove forest can store 10 times more carbons per hectare than terrestrial forest. That means so they can absorb 10 times more carbon than the normal forest. They can store carbon up to 400% faster than land-based tropical rainforest. Mangrove improve water quality by filtering pollutants and trapping sediments from the land. They reduce coastal erosion. So these are the advantages of mangroves. They not only absorb more carbon, so 10 times more, but also 400% more faster they can observe, okay, than the tropical rainforest. Okay, that is what is their special quality. And mangrove improve water quality by filtering pollutants and tapping sediments from the land, and they reduce coastal erosion. Mangrove in India contributes to nearly half of the total mangrove cover in South Asia. According to the India State of Forest Report 2021, the mangrove cover in India is 4992 square kilometer, which is 0.5% of the country's total geographical area. This is the total mangrove forest. Okay, so mangroves in India contributes to nearly half of the total mangrove cover in South Asia. According to India, yes, according Okay, so according to the Indian State of Forest Report 2021, Mangrove cover in India is 4992 square kilometer, which is 0.15% of the country's total geographical area. West Bengal has the highest percentage of mangrove cover in India, mainly because it has Sundarban, the largest mangrove forest in the world. It is followed by Gujarat, Andaman and Nicobar Island. Other states that have mangrove cover: Maharashtra, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Goa and Karnataka. The Bhitarkanika mangrove in Odisha is very famous. Okay, and it has its own pristine natural beauty, and so the government effort is on to uh, protect as well as propagate the mangrove forest in the state as well as in the country. Then the next topic is the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome. The World Health Organization confirmed that a man has been infected with the deadly Middle East Respiratory Syndrome coronavirus in the United Arab Emirates. About the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, Middle East Respiratory Syndrome (MERS) is a severe respiratory illness that mainly involves the upper respiratory tract. Symptoms: fever, coughing, and shortness of breath. Mortality: about 30% of the people who have gotten this illness have died. The MERS is caused by the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome coronavirus. Coronavirus are a family of viruses that can cause mild to severe respiratory infections. MERS was first reported in Saudi Arabia in 2012 and then spread to many countries of the world, okay, in subsequent period. Transmission: the MERS virus come from the MERS COVID virus, mainly spread from animal to human. The virus has been found in camel. The exposure to camel is a risk factor for MERS. The virus can spread between people in close contact. The treatment right now, there is no vaccine for MERS and no specific treatment. The supportive care is given only, and those who are able to overcome, they are able to overcome, and those who are unable to overcome, so they meet with the death. Okay. Then the US re-entry into UNESCO. So US First Lady Jill Biden attended the flag raising ceremony of UNESCO in Paris, making US official re-entry into the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. USA was a member of UNESCO and a great patron of UNESCO, but a few years back it quit UNESCO or resigned from the membership of UNESCO, and the issue that we'll discuss right now: what led USA to dismember itself from UNESCO, so of which it was a great pattern since its creation. Fine. The US exit from UNESCO in 2017 cited an alleged anti-Israel bias within the organization. The decision followed in 2011 move by UNESCO to include Palestine as a member state, which led the US and Israel to cease financing the agency. So, America was a great financer of UNESCO, and UNESCO recognized Israel, Palestine, and the reaction to that. So both uh, Israel and its supporting Israel, USA, they decided to withdraw from the UNESCO, the cultural wing of United Nations. Okay. The US withdrawal became official a year later in 2018. This is the second time the US has returned to UNESCO after a period of withdrawal. The country previously left the organization in 1984 under the Reagan administration, citing mismanagement, corruption, and perceived advancement of Soviet interests at UNESCO as compared to the American interest. It rejoined in 2003 under George Bush presidency. Okay. The US requested 150 million for the 2024 budget to go towards UNESCO dues and arrears, with plans for a similar requirement in the ensuing years until the full debt of 619 million is paid off. This represents a significant portion of UNESCO's annual operating budget of 534 million, highlighting the substantial financial role the US played in the agency before its departure. That means US is a major contributor to UNESCO, and as the USA left, so UNESCO definitely faced a financial crisis. Before its withdrawal, the US was the single biggest funder of UNESCO, contributing 22% of the agency's overall funding. Reason for US re-entry: the US decision to return to the Paris-based UNESCO was based mainly on concern that China has filled a leadership gap since Washington withdrawal during the Trump administration. This development underscores the broader geographical dynamics at play, particularly the growing influence of China in the international institution. The void created by the US exit was supposedly taken up by China, and this posed again a big threat to USA. So USA decided to rejoin. The US absence has helped China gain more influence in setting the rules around artificial intelligence and ensuring technological shift of the organization. The decision is a big boost to the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, known for its World Heritage Program, as well as project to fight climate change and teach girls to read. United Nations Educational, Scientific, Cultural Organization (UNESCO). UNESCO was founded in 1945 as a special agency of the United Nations. 195 members and 8 associate members. India is a founding member of the organization. The secretary is headed by the Director General, implements the decision of the General Conference and the Executive Board. The organization has more than 50 field offices around the world and headquarters is located in Paris. So objective is attaining quality education for all and lifelong learning, mobilizing science, knowledge and policy of sustainable development, addressing emerging social and ethical challenges, fostering cultural diversity, intercultural dialogue and a culture of peace, building inclusive knowledge societies through information and communication. Role of UNESCO in context of World Heritage Site. So UNESCO recognized the World Heritage Site. Okay. So there are two types of heritage site. One is the natural site, one is the cultural sites. It seeks to encourage the identification, protection, and preservation of cultural and natural heritage around the world, considered to be of outstanding value of humanity. It is embedded in an international treaty called the Convention concerning the protection of the world cultural and natural heritage, adopted by UNESCO in 1972. The most significant. Past. In Brunei, apart from running business, mini marts and small restaurants, Indians have filled up the human resource vacuum, thus making an important contribution to its economy. The Indian cinema and Ayurveda also have a great impact on Southeast Asia. The influence of the Bollywood, Indian music, the main acting as a source of soft power. Southeast Asia's Indian diaspora does not enjoy economic clout because of its small size. We need to enhance our foreign direct investment from this region. Therefore, it is important for the Indian government to keep the varied circumstances of its diaspora in these countries before arriving at any major foreign policy decision. Taking the cue from the Kaladan multimodal project, connectivity of which is from the city of Port, Myanmar to the Silchar and the Manipur connectivity with the Myanmar. to the More Tumukela Kolemwa further connectivity between the Northeast India can be expanded because in our Act-East policy, Indian Northeast region is in focus. So the question of maintenance coupled with the security issue should be looked into in a robust manner. Certain contemporary sectors such as the communication and connectivity, infrastructure, water security, etc. can be further explored in this region. The other common challenge in the region like the creating skill for the digital age, big data, generating job in the age of disruption, meeting the need of rapid urbanization, protecting the biodiversity and making the energy source cleaner. All expressions of Indian soft power spiritualism, cinema, literature, cricket, Ayurveda, handicrafts, and tourism need to be exploited in the Asian region. And artist policy is something more than the lookist policy launched in 1991. So the artist policy want to expand India's diversified relationship with the East Asian countries. ASEAN is India's fourth largest trading partner, with the Northeast becoming the bridge to the region and India's effort to Arctic policy. The region become very important. They are making significant contribution to the region and ensure a strong relationship between India and the Southeast Asian countries. India's culture, heritage, and pluralism are its strength. We have the potential to be world's leader in not only economic terms but as a free, vibrant, and dynamic nation, India must use its culture to leverage and accelerate its growth. The Indian diaspora has the unique ability to integrate itself with the local community in a good way while serving as a bridge to India's heritage and culture, okay, in the region. Fine. Then consider the following statement regarding the mangrove. So they are characterized by a dense salt-tolerant tree and plant that thrive in intertidal zone. That's right. They are found mainly in the tropical and subtropical latitudes. So both are correct in this. Recently, President of India entered the Tribal Art Gallery, Janjatiya Darpan, Rashtrapati Bhavan, considered the following statement. The gallery consists of halam, dokra art, musical instrument, that Ganjal, Gundi script, paintings such as the Warli, Gandhi, and the mud art. Indira Gandhi National Center for the Art is a part of it. So, Indira Gandhi Center of Art is the major agency through which this is being implemented. So, both are correct. And the following statement regarding the UNESCO, the US exists from UNESCO in 2018, right? UNESCO is formed in 1945. So here both are correct. Consider the following statement with reference to the National Biodiversity Authority. It is a statutory body established in 2003 by, so it is not a statutory body. So here, so both are incorrect. Consider the following statement with reference to PM1E. It is an interoperable public Wi-Fi hotspot called the PM1E. Its main vision is digital connectivity, software and services to demand and digital empowerment of citizens. Fine. So here both are correct. So as per the question, uh, uh, अच्छा, 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 अच्छा. There is something which like class of science. Okay. Its main vision is digital connectivity, software and services on demand and digital empowerment of citizens. The T plus zero settlement is currently in use. Okay. Real-time settlement transactions in stock exchanges. That's without any date. So zero means instant. Okay. That is right. It is introduced in the financial 2017 is incorrect. So coming to incorrect, which is incorrect. Uh, so two is incorrect, but one is correct. Fine. So that Prabandha portal is in non-education sector. And the following statement about the Cyber Surakshit Bharat initiative, it aims to build capacities of child chief information security officers and frontline IT officials across the government department about cybercrime. The initiative the Minister of Electronics and Information Technology. So here both 1 and 2 are correct, but 3 is not correct. The following statement about the no confidence motion. So it can be moved in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So no, only in the Lok Sabha. Speaker of Lok Sabha will decide whether admit the motion or not. Right. The passing of the no motion leads to rejection of the ruling government. That is also right. Okay. So passing of the no confidence motion leads to rejection of the ruling government. So here, uh, 2 and 3 are correct. Global Education Monitoring Report 2023, United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural UNESCO publishes this report. Thank you for watching.